What's up, everybody? This is Jato, back again with another. I want to call it a Footsies tutorial, kind of, for Dragon Ball FighterZ. This is part 4 of my 3-part series of how Footsies works in Dragon Ball FighterZ, and today's kind of an important one. Today we're gonna go over probably the most important, let's say, pillar of Footsies in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, as a reminder, for this 3-part series, there's 3 parts of Footsies, right? We have moving forward, which is what beats moving backward. We have moving backward, which is what beats whiff punishing. Wait, no, moving backwards, which is what beats poking. And poking, which is what beats moving forward. Right, now, together with moving backwards is moving backwards / whiff punishing. So again, moving forward beats moving backwards / whiff punishing. Moving backward whiff punishing beats poking. Poking beats moving forward. Now I have a 4th part in this video series because Dragon Ball FighterZ has a very important mechanic which very well does encapsulate all 3 of the above. And you guessed it, if you play Dragon Ball FighterZ at all, you know what it is already. It is Superdash. Now let's think about what Superdash is and think a little bit about the other parts of Footsies and why Superdash is so important in this game. Now let's first think about what moving forward, right? Superdash moves you forward. More importantly than that, it moves forward no matter where the opponent is. If they're jumping, if they're doing their own Super Dash, if they're doing a dive kick or something, Super Dash tracks to the opponent. So it is always moving forward, no matter what. What else does Super Dash do? Super Dash has a hit at the end of it. So you're moving forward and then you're doing a hit at the same time. Super Dash functions as a poke. If somebody's running at you or trying to approach with something, you know, just moving forward, you can definitely just do a Super Dash. Whether it's hits or it's blocked, it stops them from moving forward or punishes them from moving forward. You can do something like put them in a block string with an assist. So Super Dash is also a poke. Now, if you just don't do Super Dash just quite as early, say you're already, you know, moving backwards and getting somebody to whiff under you, right? Say they're running under you and doing an auto combo under you as you've jumped, you can whiff punish their whiff buttons with a Super Dash. So Super Dash is also a whiff punish. So Super Dash is broken. Super Dash is by far the most powerful, the most important move in all of Dragon Ball FighterZ. And doubly so because every single character has access to it. Every single character's Super Dash is just as strong as everybody else's. You can still do, and in fact it is still important to use all of your other moves to move forward or poke or to whiff punish, but if you're not sure what to do, or if you're just in a situation where things are kind of scrambly, Super Dash is actually just a very good option, because depending on when you do it, where you do it, what position you're in, oftentimes it just leads to you winning that exchange. Now, of course, there's ways to beat it, right? You can do 2H to punish a Super Dash really, really hard. You can reflect it to get out of that situation, right? But in order to properly punish a Super Dash, you have to be able to react to it. Now, look at the frame data here. Super Dash from point blank range is 21 frames. Now, if you know anything about human reaction time, or you can just Google it right now, look it up on Wikipedia, average human reaction time is around 21 frames. What that means is that if all the situations are optimal, if everything is optimal, if you're in a lag-free environment, if maybe you can hear the opponent's buttons next to you in a tournament, then sure, you can react to a Super Dash from point blank. But realistically, those kinds of optimal environments are extremely rare and few and far in between. You can see right now, I'm playing on PC, and I set my frame delay to 4 frames, because I turned VSync off, and that is to match the tournament environment, which is PS4. PS4 has a little bit of native input lag in addition to the game's already native input lag, and then, you know, there's already a little bit of natural input lag from your controller into the game. All that to say is that effectively from point blank range, in a normal situation, reacting to a Super Dash is extremely difficult from point blank, from maybe like right here. 22 frames at that point, right? So getting a really strong punish on Super Dash is difficult, right? Which is why it's good that you're rewarded so much for doing so. You know, getting a 2H is a very strong starter. But just like in the heat of the moment, especially from close range, Super Dash is an extremely strong tool, extremely hard to punish. That is, you know, unfortunately, just kind of the state of the game. If we're thinking about, you know, how to apply your footsies, if you want to be more cerebral with your play, like approaching neutral stronger, you have to keep in mind Super Dash pretty much all times. And that is, in fact, you know, the big thing that I dislike about this game more than anything else. I still enjoy the game, but the fact that neutral is so dependent on Super Dash and being able to control Super Dash kind of simplifies the game a lot for me. Now, let's see here. Now, you do have to do it still, of course, right? What that means is that when you're playing footsies and Dragon Ball FighterZ, you're less likely to be doing it here from this range, and more likely to be doing it from here, in which you can react to Super Dash. And actually, Super Dash is still pretty powerful here. Like, you'll notice that Ki Blasts have pretty long recovery, and that's because if you Super Dash at the same time as the opponent does a Ki Blast, even from full screen, you should be able to punish the Ki Blast. But if you're holding back here and you're not doing anything that can be punished by a Super Dash, you have a much higher chance of reacting to the Super Dash in the first place, whether it's with a 2H or with a jump jab or with the reflex. So see right here, startup of the Super Dash is 33 frames from full screen, or from all the way full screen, it's actually close to 34. May full screen up high, it's 36. Way, way, way easier to react to. The really frustrating thing about Super Dash is that it's kind of on the edge of human reaction time. So like right here, 24 frames, that's like on the edge. That means if you're focused or you're playing sharp, you should be able to react to that. But that also means that if you're a little bit slow, you're going to get counter hit out of your 2H by the Super Dash itself, because anti-air properties of generic 2Hs don't start until the 4th frame. So if you're in this situation and you're trying to, say, whiff punish something, it's in your best interest to back up. Now, this kind of brings us back to the whole pillar of footsies, backing up versus moving forward versus poking. This is kind of where the game starts to become a little bit more real, let's say, right? Because of the existence of Super Dash. And that's also kind of what, unfortunately, prevents you from really playing the footsies game with your normals or with your special moves of the range under which they're effective. So, in summary, first of all, Super Dash, very, very important, right? If there's nothing else that you do in Dragon Ball FighterZ, if you're not sure how to approach neutral or approach footsies better in this game, think about where and when you're using Super Dash. It might very well be use Super Dash way more often than you're used to, right? It may very well be, just playing a lot more passively so that you can negate Super Dash in some way, shape, or form. You'll find that the top tier characters, the really strong characters in this game, are the ones that can either navigate Super Dash very effectively or use Super Dash very effectively, like Bardock, for example, right? Bardock is extremely strong because on top of having to handle Super Dash, which will track you from any range, right? He has Lariat, which will cover this space right in front, right here, that entire space, and also right here, and also right here with the upward Lariat too, right? So, yeah, that's it. Super Dash is busted. Super Dash can be used in every single aspect of footsies and in neutral. Almost to the point where if you're just mashing on Super Dash, you're gonna get whiff punches, or you're gonna get a good poke, or you're gonna get good forward movement no matter what you do. And if you want to improve in this game, if you want to make your neutral strong in this game, you have to be able and be ready to punish it. Okay? The neutral breaker, yes, Super Dash. That's kind of I read the chat, even though I said I wasn't going to, but that's kind of true. But you have to remember that Super Dash is just part of the game, right? Now, and this kind of goes together with a more general thought about competing as opposed to just footsies. But for me, it doesn't matter what game I'm playing, as long as people are playing it. I enjoy competing. If that's true for you, right, then just suck it up. Super Dash is a huge part of the neutral game in Dragon Ball FighterZ. and you can get good at this game by learning how to control it. Just have to accept that the game is kind of oversimplified because of the existence of it. If that's too much for you to handle, play another game. That's okay, right? That's not a bad thing by any means. If you enjoy competing, you know, you'll find that it is just as rewarding to compete in a bad game as it is in a good game. I'm a Marvel player, so that's kind of where I'm coming from. But that's that. Superdash is broken and busted. You have to learn how to use it. You have to learn how to defeat it. And once here's the other thing. Once you're able to control Superdash, you'll find that the opponent will Superdash less often, and then the game kind of opens up. You know, you can start applying the pokes and such more often because the opponent is less likely to Superdash at you. You can start applying the real Footsies game more so with your normals and with your specials. And the game becomes more fun once you get better at it, just like any other competitive endeavor, not just video games. So that's it. That's it from me for today. That should be the end of the Footsies series for Dragon Ball FighterZ, part 4 of 3. And I'll see you guys next time.